Hey everyone, it's Jeannie and I'm back today to share 4 different cards that I mass produced using Ink on 3's Bad and Boujee stamp set along with Canson XL Watercolor paper and Ink on 3's Fadeout ink. I've done previous cards before where I watercolor on top of Fadeout, and it's a very easy technique because Fadeout will absorb the color that you place on top of it, so you don't really need to shade or anything like that. I find that a lot of detailed images really work well with this technique. And although I could have done the same here and watercolored these lips, I thought that why not create tone-on-tone backgrounds for my cards. So I stamped and covered the background panel with a ton of these little lips from the Bad and Boujee stamp set, and I used my Misti because I wanted to create 4 different panels and ink them up with different colors. My first panel is using Sweet Petunia Pink, and I am going heavy on the edges and then going lighter into the middle. So I'm going to cover up the entire card panel with this color, and I'll just have kind of an ombre effect, darker on the edges and lighter in the middle. But as you can see, all the areas where I had stamped Fade Out is picking up and absorbing the color, so it looks like a tone-on-tone background. And if you wanted to do this generally, I would normally ink up a background panel, wait for it to dry, stamp the images in embossing ink, and then heat setting them with clear embossing powder so you get that tone-on-tone look. Here, I thought that why not try it with Fade Out, since one of its properties is to absorb the color, and it works out so perfectly. The second card panel is using my Jam Purple, and as you can see, everywhere that I'm placing ink on it, it does pick up that color. And Fade Out is normally this very light gray. I did stamp all the images twice when I was stamping the background panels, so it is darker than normal, but I really did want it to show up. Sometimes Fade Out is very light. It is meant for known line coloring, and you can choose to do that. But here I wanted to create 4 very quick cards. For my third card panel, I am using Trinity Teal, and then for my fourth, I'm using the combination of all 3 colors just to switch it up. And the reason why I am mass producing these cards is, one, because it's very easy to do. So I'll end up with 4 cards at the end of this video. And also, after the holidays and after a couple of my card donations, I've realized that I'm running low on cards, which I never thought was going to be possible because I've made and accumulated so many cards and I don't really know what I do with them. I do send them out, I just don't do it frequently. And now, after I've given some away as gifts over the holidays, and I did a huge card donation for a couple of companies, I am just low on cards, and I thought that it'd be fun to mass produce. I've also been in kind of a creative slump for the past month and a half or so, so I haven't been really motivated to make very many cards. And I'm realizing that while I've lost that kind of motivation to make these cards, I don't mind making a bunch of cards when I thought of an idea to do. And so this is one of the ideas I had thought up, and I thought it was perfect for mass production and it's really easy to do. So I'm going to go back to all my card panels, and I really wanted to darken up the edges a little bit. I am using Paint It Black Atelier ink, and this is a color that's not like super black. It's almost a little bit brown, but it works just to darken up the edge colors and makes it look a little bit more grungy, which I kind of like. It adds a little bit more interest. So I sped up that process, and I'm just showing you the 4 panels that I ended up with. And in the Bad and Boujee stamp set, there is a coordinating die. And that coordinating die has a few large sentiments, and one of them is the Kisses die cut. So I took a piece of black cardstock and cut out the Kisses sentiment 4 times. And then I am also pulling out this Erin Creative holographic paper, which I am currently obsessed with. It's so pretty. So I also cut that out because I'm going to be layering it on top of each other, and it will kind of create a shadow effect. For the additional sentiment, I pulled out the sending word, And I am stamping with Juicy ink and heat embossing with Artic White, and I did it 4 times since I have 4 cards. So once I had that ready, I just went ahead and trimmed everything down to a small strip, and I'm going to go ahead and assemble these cards. So I die cut the words kisses twice because I wanted to place them on top of each other. And I just wanted that interest because I really wanted to use the holographic paper. It is so pretty. Like when it hits the light in different angles, it just changes colors and is super gorgeous. So I added the sentiment to all 4 cards in the same place, right in the middle. Some are a little bit more left, some are a little bit more right, but it doesn't matter. It looks fine. And I decided to go in to add these bubble blower embellishments from Trinity Stamps, and it kind of just picks up the color that's underneath it. After I finished these cards, I kind of thought that they looked a little bit plain. So I actually pulled out these quick sentiment strips dies from Mama Elephant, and I cut out a ton of strips in black cardstock, the smallest strip and then the second to smallest strip, and I am just adding it to the card. So you'll notice that I have washi taped a strip down on my glass mat, and I'm kind of using it as a placeholder so I am able to apply the sentiment strip evenly. And so I'll just run a line of glue and I'll use that sentiment strip just to make sure that I am placing the strip down straight. So I will put 1 strip on top of the card and 2 different size strips at the bottom of the card. And I thought that that really just added an additional interest to the card itself. And I thought that it didn't look as plain with those strips compared to what it looked prior. So once I'm done adding the strips, I'll just trim it off. And I did this to all 4 card panels, and I ended up with 4 different cards in the end. So I kind of really like the combination of the 3 colors, and I liked all the colors, honestly, but I thought that was the prettiest. So that's it for today's card. It was quick and easy and the perfect card for mass production. And I hope you liked today's cards, and I will see you guys next time with another video. Bye!